What if I told you that one of the most famous biblical blessings came from a night-long wrestling match with God himself? There's a hidden detail in Jacob's story that changes everything we thought we knew about redemption and transformation. By the end of this video, you'll understand why that night was the turning point for Jacob, changing him forever and revealing the powerful truth behind his transformation. Jacob was known for his cunning nature, having deceived his father Isaac and stolen the blessing intended for his brother Esau, a moment that set a complex journey in motion. To fully appreciate Jacob's transformation, we need to reflect on his life filled with deception, struggles, and divine encounters that shaped his character over time. Deceived and pursued by fears and enemies, Jacob faced years of uncertainty, constantly wrestling with his past and what his future would hold. His travels took him far, from escaping Esau's wrath to working for his uncle Laban, where he himself experienced deception and hardship. The complicated dynamics between Rachel and Leah added layers of difficulty for Jacob, challenging him emotionally and spiritually as he struggled to find fulfillment. Work became a battlefield of its own, and Jacob's time with Laban revealed how the cycle of deception continued, teaching him hard lessons about trust and endurance. As Jacob prepared to face Esau again, he found himself in a moment of profound solitude and vulnerability, the calm before a transforming storm. Suddenly, Jacob encountered a mysterious man, believed by many theologians to be a pre-incarnate appearance of Jesus, setting the stage for a supernatural struggle. This wasn't just any fight. It was a night-long wrestle filled with tension, symbolic of Jacob's life battles and his desperate desire for a blessing and new identity. The wrestling match represented more than physical strength. It was about perseverance, faith, and a willingness to confront both God and himself in a raw, honest battle. Wrestling in Jacob's culture was a survival tactic, a test of endurance and strategy, making this match a perfect allegory for his life's persistent struggles. At the Jabbok River, this supernatural encounter became a defining moment of transformation, where Jacob fought not just for life, but for a blessing that would change everything. When the dawn broke, Jacob was both wounded and renewed. A limp marked his body physically, but his spirit was filled with hope and new purpose. That limp was not just a sign of struggle, but a symbol of the spiritual breakthrough and the beginning of a new era for Jacob and his descendants. In that night's struggle, Jacob received a new name, Israel, which means one who struggles with God, redefining his identity and destiny forever. Genesis 32 verses 24 to 30 captures this profound moment when theology and humanity meet, underscoring that transformation often requires wrestling with the divine. Today, many of us wrestle with our own challenges, identity struggles, doubts, fears, and Jacob's story resonates deeply with this universal human condition. Have you ever felt like you're wrestling with something bigger than yourself, struggling to find clarity and purpose amidst the chaos of life? Like Jacob, our personal battles can lead to growth and blessing, teaching us that endurance through struggle is often the path to transformation. Jacob's limp reminds us that even wounds from struggle can become marks of our survival and steps towards spiritual renewal and strength. Symbolically, dawn represents new beginnings, and Jacob's story encourages us to look beyond our difficulties toward the hope of a fresh start. When we share stories like Jacob's, we're reminded how powerful vulnerability and resilience are in God's plan for our lives and growth. Jacob's story invites us into our own spiritual wrestling matches, where prayer and faith become our strength and guide in times of struggle. No matter how hard the battle, we don't have to wrestle alone. Community and faith can carry us through our darkest nights to a new dawn. Just as the river witnessed Jacob's struggle, life's challenges often flow through us, shaping who we are and who we become. The grip of Jacob reminds us of the tenacity needed in our spiritual journeys, holding on even when the outcome is uncertain. By the end of the struggle, the mysterious figure leaves Jacob changed forever, wounded but victorious, the beginning of a new chapter. Jacob's reflection by the fire reveals the inner transformation, a shift from deceit to honesty, fear to faith, brokenness to blessing. This new dawn was not just a daybreak but a spiritual awakening, a moment when past mistakes lose their power over our future. Like Jacob, we all face moments where decisions shape our destiny, reminding us that struggle can lead to purpose if we embrace it. History and faith blend in this story, reminding us how ancient truths continue to shape modern lives and spiritual journeys today. Jacob's story inspires us to hold on to hope, even when the path is difficult, because transformation often comes through the depth of our struggles. The symbolism of the river teaches us that life's interruptions and struggles are natural, but also have redemptive power. In the stillness after wrestling with our challenges, we often find clarity, peace, and renewed direction for our lives. Prayer is the quiet strength that supports us in our most intense wrestling matches, just as it supported Jacob through the night. Every journey begins with a step, and Jacob's journey reminds us that even long struggles lead to new beginnings filled with hope. Jacob's spiritual journey includes moments of divine connection, like his famous dream of a ladder linking earth and heaven, signaling hope. The scriptures capture these moments of divine human interaction, providing timeless lessons about faith, struggle, and redemption. Like the olive tree that grows strong through seasons of change, Jacob's story reminds us to root ourselves in faith through all seasons. The blessing Isaac gave to Jacob was more than words. It was a spiritual heritage that set the stage for generations to come. Jacob and Esau's reunion was a moment of forgiveness, reflecting how God's grace can heal even the deepest wounds of betrayal. Life's path often twists and turns, much like Jacob's journey, but every step is part of the divine process of transformation. Exploring Jacob's story in depth reveals layers of meaning about identity, faith, struggle, and the pursuit of God's blessing. The language of the Bible holds keys to understanding the richness of Jacob's story, inviting us into a deeper spiritual dialogue. Nature often reflects the spiritual journey, a landscape of trials and beauty, deserts and streams, struggle and hope interwoven. Stories like Jacob's are passed down to teach us important truths about God's faithfulness amid human imperfection. Our spiritual struggles invite us to reach beyond ourselves, connecting with a power greater than any worldly challenge. Reflection and contemplation are vital parts of transformation, offering insight and peace like a still pool in the forest.